Well, I break down my biggest problem.
Yeah.
We have a Batman that's not taking steroids.
Yeah. Why are you not taking steroids, Batman?
Get on the juice.
Get on the juice, baby. I wanted to be able to have a Got Juiced episode.
I know.
Where we talk about Robert Pattinson.
Jesus, Robert Pattinson looks like he's got two of himself in his body.
Yeah.
What the He's huge.
He looks like he ate every other performance of Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, exactly. I could build a house on his shoulders.
Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Straight to Series. We've kept going.
Hell yeah.
We're back at it.
Ain't gonna stop us quarantine.
Don't say that again though, in case it does stop us again.
It may stop us again.
We were
it may stop it mid-podcast.
Mid-podcast, yeah. We made the guys in like the hazmat suits are going to kick the door in. Yeah, I'm trying not to. It's in me though. The virus is in me.
Okay.
And my name's Connor.
I'm Ian.
And yeah, please welcome.
Welcome to the Straight to Series
welcome
podcast.
To Straight to Series podcast. Hopefully back to being regular.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. We'll see.
Fingers crossed.
Check us out on Instagram, SoundCloud, all that good stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But,
we're on everywhere.
We are on everywhere.
And YouTube.
In
case you're watching.
Yeah. Hey guys. Check out the last one on YouTube because we had lovely suits.
We just did a James Bond special.
Yeah, and all the feedback has been, oh man, I listened to it. Didn't know you guys were in suits.
Yeah.
So everyone, please go check it out. You'll see us.
This man was in a three-piece.
Yeah, I was squeezed into a three-piece.
Yeah, it was doing work. It was.
Got that Ben Affleck bulge going.
Okay.
You know.
Hey, relax there.
Yeah, I know.
Bring it down a notch.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I have been looking at fat pictures of Ben Affleck and. Fat pictures of him are what I look like now, so I'm like.
You mean Justice League?
Justice League, yeah, exactly.
Snack Man.
It's him smoking is the one I go for. He's in a blue sweater and he's smoking, and I'm like,
nice.
hey man, that's what I look like now. Which means if I get in good shape, I must look like Batman.
That's how it works.
That's
how
the
the world
logic
works,
right
man.
there. It is.
That's biology for you.
It's biology, baby. I don't know if you've noticed, but our set has been dressed,
revamped slightly.
We have no more. We've holes now.
We've also got a full-size Batmobile. That's the real size right there.
The real size from the animated series.
Gonna drive away in that later.
Oh yeah, I wish I could. And we've a sword.
We do have a sword.
Yeah, it's kind of blocked by Ian, but we now it's a real. I mean, it's
dangerous.
It's a prop sword.
It's dangerous.
Yeah.
I feel manly when I wield it.
Yeah, I feel like
working on those forearms.
Oh yeah, strong forearms.
Yeah, baby.
Doing the Conan the Barbarian where he holds it like this, and every muscle up his arm is like tensing.
It's about to collapse.
Exactly. I feel like if we had it in a zombie movie, you'd be like knocking walkers over.
I think I could kill two.
Yeah.
And then I'm wrecked.
In fairness, their heads are made of like.
I don't have the cardio for this. You know where you're like, oh my god.
Their heads are made of jello in those movies. Like for some reason, they're never like their skulls are like
actually that
paper
would
mache.
fuck me up. I'd be like, oh, I got this. You know, wait, and then I go to stab someone in the head, and it just ding, it just fall. I just ricochet off it, and then I'm eating.
Yeah,
I'm eating. I'm taking toast.
Yeah.
Like literally, I'm breakfast for some zombie.
Carl, Ian, where are you, Ian?
Carl.
See, you have a facial hair. You do well
Carl.
In the apocalypse in terms of look.
Look,
yeah, you have to look.
That's why I'm dealing with that right now. It's the quarantine look.
Quarantine look.
Anyway, we got a good episode.
We do. We said
Let's keep this on track, baby.
We should. We said at the beginning we were going to outline what we talk about. And
we got some reviews for you.
We do. So we are going to talk about Extraction,
Netflix, Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, came out a while ago, but we want to talk about it.
Tour in Bangladesh.
Yes, and then we also want to talk about Capone. Came out a bit more recently.
People might not be aware of it that much. It's VOD or PVOD they're calling it now. Sounds like a porn category.
Well, yeah.
It's premium
VOD.
Video on demand.
I wouldn't consider most of the PVOD I watch is
Capone's not premium's a stretch.
Premium is a stretch. Yeah, maybe the video quality is premium, but nothing else.
And then we're gonna also talk about this little independent movie called The Snyder Cut.
I mean,
which seems like a reality. We'll
we really shouldn't talk about it now because we'll get distracted. Yeah. And then linking into Snyder Cut, we're going to talk about Robert Pattinson.
Robert Battinson and his less than desirable physique right now.
Yeah, his refusal to get in shape, which...
Quarantine gains? Not from me, boy.
Has sparked some anger among the straight-to-series cast members.
It's going to be a loose suit, that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. All I'm saying is, I'm angry.
He better have some big dick energy, that's all I'm saying.
Mad as hell, and I don't know what to do about it, or whatever the line is.
But anyway, let's get into reviews.
Let's get into reviews. Extraction.
We seen Extraction.
We did. We watched it ages ago.
Yeah, we're a little bit late to this, but we felt like we had to talk about it because we enjoyed it. Now we have different views.
We have different levels of quality in our heads to this movie.
But both enjoyed it.
Yes, really enjoyed it, and I've recommended it to a multitude of people. And if you guys haven't watched it yet, go watch it yourselves.
It's on Netflix. And if you don't have Netflix, you're not a real person.
You're not a real person, yeah. Because Netflix counts those homes, baby.
Exactly, it does.
Counts those homes. It knows. If Netflix was taking personal information, they would know pretty much everything about me, my taste in movies, everything.
Oh, my taste in porn?
Yeah. Some of the recommendations I'm getting from Netflix are now so off because of all the like left-wing movies I watch. For example, I just watched Murder Mystery, and now all of Adam Sandler's like
Sandler, and it won't be Uncut Gems.
No, it's all the terrible comedies he's done is just being recommended.
Just go with it. You want to watch? Just go with it.
Do you want to watch? I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry. Yeah.
Little Nicky, you want to watch Little Nicky?
Jesus, yeah. They don't even have it on the platform. They're recommending it to me.
I know, yeah.
But yeah, Extraction is an actual good Netflix movie.
Yeah, and it's an action movie, thriller.
Action thriller.
Set in Bangladesh.
Starring Chris Hemsworth. And because of all the Indian cast, it reminds you just how tall and beefy Chris Hemsworth is.
Fucking huge. Yeah. And this is him trim.
Yeah, I know.
He's forced to be reckoned with in this, and it looks like he's doing a lot of his own stunts. Not all of them, because some of these stunts are goddamn crazy. After
you watch this movie, you are gonna beg to watch the behind-the-scenes footage, because how they shoot some of this stuff is insane.
The director is a scary human being.
He is. He's not afraid to lose his own life and
he does not. He does not value his own life.
Sam Hargrave is the director. He stars
in it. He
stars in the movie, and he is a stuntman.
He's a stuntman and a stunt coordinator.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what he
coordinated on? Yes, I do.
There's a really small independent movie that he worked on.
Okay.
And I forgot the name of it.
Seriously?
Yeah, damn
it. Well, it's clearly a big...
Oh, yeah, sorry. I forgot. The Avengers Infinity War.
Oh, wow.
And then the small sequel that came after called Endgame.
Endgame, right.
For a minute, I was like, it's a big movie. And fuck's sake, it's so accessible in my mind that my mind was like, I'll put that to the back of the shelf, because you're never going to forget that anyway. Guess what?
He forgot it.
People mind forgot that, baby.
What's the name of that guy from The Wolf of Wall Street? He's like the friend. He's not Leo DiCaprio, but he's Jonah Mountain.
Oh, my God. Jonah Slope.
Jonah Cliff.
Jonah Slope sounds like the shittiest porn star ever.
Jonah Slope, yeah.
Jonah Slope.
You want to ride the slope, baby? Talk about going.
It's all uphill from here.
I was gonna say, talk about going downhill. So it's Sam Hargrave's movie. It's written by Joe Russo and produced by Joanne Anthony Russo,
who, of course, directed like all the biggest MCU movies.
Basically, all your favorites, more than likely.
Surely that's the connection between Sam Hargrave and Joe Russo.
Yeah.
Are all those big movies that he fucking stunt coordinated on.
I wonder who he plays. I'd love to see him in the behind the scenes footage of Endgame, see who he's stunting for.
Well, I don't know. I think he's a stunt coordinator.
Oh, he's just a coordinator?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
So he's working on that, and you surely see that. He's doing stunts behind the camera.
Yeah, that's true. He's so good.
He's probably doing the most dangerous stunts. There's a video, and I'll throw it on our YouTube.
Okay.
Where he is strapped in this buggy, and they're flying along, they're doing a car chase, and he is so close to those cars, and he's just there strapped into the buggy, and in a minute it stops, he unstraps himself, and he runs off. He's a camera operator as well.
For like handheld footage, it's pretty good how steady and everything.
It's right up in their business.
Right up in there. It's going through windows, it's falling off roofs with you. It's the cuts in this movie are hidden so well.
They're done really well.
But we should get into the plot. Chris Hemsworth is brought in to save the son of a massive drug lord. His name is
a Bangladeshi drug lord.
Bangladeshi drug lord. His name's Avi something. Avi Mahajan is the kid. No, but the bad guy is Avi Mahajan Senior.
Oh yeah, shit.
Yeah, but this movie is a really good like showing of Indian actors who you've never heard of, who are just these insanely good action stars.
Well, we kind of have the Indian Chris Hemsworth, who is awesome in this, by the way, and really shines.
He does.
They give him a lot of moments to shine.
I'd love to see more of him now, especially after this. The actor's name is Randeep Hooda. I'm probably mispronouncing that, but he's awesome as Saju Rav, and he's basically Chris Hemsworth equivalent in the other side,
Indian version of him,
and he's so cool, he's so badass,
and he's neck and neck with him, and it's very good. I don't want to spoil anything about the movie, but you kind of root for both of them, even though they're against each other.
Everyone has a reason for doing what they're doing,
it's good. Chris Hemsworth's reason is a good reason, and that's why you support him. But also the Indian guy, Randeep Hooda, you also back him up, even though they're clashing, because he actually has a very personal reason that's also not bad, that way.
And also
he's not a villain.
Totally, and it's kind of interesting.
His intentions are not villainous anyway, put it that way.
And it's kind of interesting having the kid be the son of a crime lord, because then it's sort of like, it's more ambiguous who should get him. You know what I mean?
Also, he's like, the kid's not a bad guy, but he's connected.
He's connected to a lot of bad people.
In the kid or whatever.
Yeah. His dad is like giving orders and threatening people in jail and everything, and it's this really interesting setup that I like that they went for, as opposed to politician's son gets kidnapped or blah blah blah. Whatever.
Definitely, everyone's intentions are kind of morally ambiguous at times. Where you're like, I kind of support him, but I kind of support him too. But then at the same time, should he be rescued?
Should he go with this person? Should he be brought back? What are the repercussions?
Well, I want the drug lord to be punished, but I don't want the kid to die, because the kid seems like a good kid. But I do want the drug lord to be punished.
But if the other drug lord kills a kid, then he becomes more powerful. So it's just
it's just an endless cycle of crime.
There's even some good kid characters. I couldn't tell you their names now, but there's one kid with a scar who's really good. He kind of jumps off the screen a little bit.
We get to see Chris Hemsworth throw down with a few kids,
and it's a great scene.
It's actually a great scene because he's holding back, but he's not holding back too much either, you know that way?
Yeah, he bitch slaps a kid.
He really bitch slaps a kid, and I get some pleasure out of it.
Me too.
Now the kid's not a kid, he kind of is.
They are kids, but they're like
teenagers.
They're child soldiers, basically.
Young teenagers.
Yeah, young teenagers who are child soldiers, and Chris Hemsworth has to smack them around a bit.
Yeah, he doesn't kill them.
He also the action in this is so good. It's what you should come to see.
That's the best thing about it.
Yeah.
That's the best thing about it. And that's why we kind of differ, because for me, you really liked the movie, where I thought it was a bit too long.
Yeah.
Because it's almost too much of a good thing. The action's so good, but there's not that much story. So I'm like, if you cut it down, you could probably shave 20 minutes off it. It would just be this great kind of John Wick, the first John Wick. Because the story is decent, but for me, it doesn't deserve... It's an hour and 17 minutes.
Yeah.
And to me, it doesn't deserve that, because it's a very small story, that way.
Yeah.
It's the action. The action's the entertainment.
I know what you mean. It's not an hour and 17 minutes. It's nearly 2 hours.
170 minutes.
It's 157, so it's nearly 2 hours long.
Did I say an hour and 17?
Yeah, hour 17. I was like, that's a very short movie.
That's a quick movie.
Yeah. No, I actually think that the setup is both, it's fundamentally the same as so many other movies, but they also do enough twists on it where I'm kind of captivated again. It's an old tale done differently, and I really enjoyed it. So again, having the twist that it's the crime boss, you're rooting for both parties to get him out. No one's really a good guy, no one's really a bad guy. You have this child soldier angle, you have these, who's going to survive, who's going to die, and everything. I think they just do enough of a good twist on an old formula that I ended up enjoying it a lot more.
Well, Chris Hemsworth gives a performance that's fantastic for what he had. The source material there is not, it's not heavily weighted. Heavily weighted. It's not. There's not huge, to me, there's not a huge amount of emotional weight in the story.
Totally.
And yet Chris Hemsworth's so good.
He's bringing a lot to it.
He brings a sadness to his character that you didn't necessarily need to do. And I think Keanu Reeves kind of does that with John Wick as well. He's been through some hard times
in his life.
He's a bad person at the same time. He's an assassin, just the way Chris Hemsworth's a mercenary.
Yeah.
He's killing people for money. But at the same time, there's a sadness to him.
Yeah. And there's a moral code there that only comes out occasionally,
if there wasn't, he would have butchered those kids.
Yeah.
Because they deserve more than a bitch slap at times.
Also, I do get the feeling that it's more of a hang up than a moral code. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's more like he's stuck on this one thing, and therefore he can't, even for his own good, he can't go against it, which is what's interesting about him.
Definitely.
Like, he's a tortured character. Also, Chris Hemsworth does the tortured badass really well.
So well.
He's managed it so well now in Thor. Like, in Infinity War and Endgame even, like, Thor is emasculated and broken in Infinity War, and then in Endgame he's just a shadow of his former self.
Yeah.
And he's almost like letting everyone down with how he's carrying on, but he doesn't matter. He's too self-absorbed in his own sadness to do that, and it's really good. And it's why Thor has gone from like a lot of people's least favorite to one of their most favorite Avengers.
The first MCU character to get a fourth solo movie, which is crazy to think.
It's so crazy, and he's going to be in Guardians. So yeah, the movie, it's 6 out of 68% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is, you know,
it's kind of where I expected it to land.
Yeah,
because I know there's a lot of people that don't like that kind of. It becomes like almost like violent porn, you know, that way. Like it's just like it's violence. And I know there's a lot of people that just have that knee-jerk reaction where they're like, there's too much violence in this.
I was gonna say, it's almost like so much. It's the action is great.
It's so creative.
It's so much fun to watch. But like, even it's almost too much at a time, and I can understand how people would be like, man, this fight scene is going on for too long. You know what I mean?
My problem with it is it's so goddamn good that I get numb to it.
Yeah.
Where I have to keep reminding myself, what they just did there is so creative and so different than most action thrillers. Like, that was actually really cool.
Yeah.
But the problem is they have to do so many cool things, and there's been fighting for like 20 minutes straight, all this action, that I'm not appreciating it as much as I should.
Totally.
You know, if it was done in slightly smaller bursts, I think I would appreciate it even more. Because at the start, I was like, hey, they're taking a different approach to this. And Sam Hargrave, the director, he definitely is going to have a serious career when it comes to action movies.
He really stretched that 65 million.
Yeah, 65 million. Looks great.
It does. Anyway, there's already a sequel planned, written by Joe Russo. Again, he's going to do the screenplay. And people aren't sure whether it's going to be a sequel or a prequel.
That's what Joe Russo himself was saying. He's unsure, and I have my thoughts on it. Now, David Harbour has a small role in this movie, and Joe Russo was talking about maybe making it a prequel, because he was saying, hey, you know, everyone does a sequel.
Yeah.
Why not make a prequel?
Yeah.
But it kind of reduces the stakes, and that's my only problem with it.
Totally.
Because we already know if David Harbour... Because he was thinking, we could investigate the relationship between Chris Hemsworth's character and David Harbour's character.
Yeah.
David Harbour is, by the way, the police officer in Stranger Things.
Oh, yeah.
I forget his name, but, you know, everyone knows the police officer.
Yeah.
Winona Ryder's kind of crush / they're about the hate fuck, you know the way? Like, there's so much sexual tension there, you could step on it.
Hopper.
Thank you.
Cheap Hopper.
You could build a staircase out of sexual tension. It's so strong.
He's great in that. He's just so likable.
And I think they pop when they're Chris Hemsworth and him are together.
Yeah.
They're good together. So Joe Russo is talking about maybe doing a prequel, and we kind of learn more about their relationship and how they met each other. But the only problem is then we know that both of them don't die.
Yeah.
And I like when the stakes are there. I like when the peril is there and it's evident. So that's one thing. I think as a movie buff, and you do it as well, we make those calculations. We're like, oh shit, well then we know for a fact that Chris Hemsworth doesn't die, and David Harbour doesn't die.
It's like when you go into an Avengers movie, you're kind of like, well, if you think about it this way, you know, this character is this and blah blah blah, and this is what happens in the comics, so maybe they'll do something like that, you know. It's taking all this exterior knowledge that
Infinity War,
exactly.
When you wipe out, they dust everybody. You're like, well, Black Panther just made $1 billion.
All the people they dusted are the future franchises.
Black Panther just made $1 billion, so there's no way. Oh wait, there's another Spider-Man coming.
Yeah, exactly.
They're talking about a trilogy, so there's another 2 movies to come.
Ant-Man and the Wasp released next month, so like how are they going to be dusted? Yeah, but this movie isn't totally met with positives. People have been criticizing it, saying that it is a white savior movie, which is something that we're
uneducated on. Well, that term I've never heard before.
No, neither. I think I'd heard it before, but I'd never really investigated or looked into.
Yeah.
But basically, it's the fact that, you know, a white guy, normally an American, comes in and solves the problems in some third world country or a different country. You know what I mean? Not third world, but
and he also saves a character that's not Caucasian from the plight of their own country and their own country's missteps.
But he saves them in a way that is inherently American or white, or you know what I mean? He uses his principles, puts them on them, and that is what helps them survive in the situation. And
I can see the parallels, but at the same time, that would make a lot more sense to me if there wasn't an Indian version of Chris Hemsworth that's neck and neck with him and giving him just as good as he's getting.
Yeah, exactly.
You know the way, like, we live in a capitalist society.
Yeah.
Chris Hemsworth is the reason why. By the way, it's estimated 90 million households have viewed this. That's what Netflix said in the first month. They estimate that around 90 million households have viewed this, which is the biggest numbers ever. I mean, for a premiere of a movie, you know,
totally
biggest first month for any movie ever.
I mean, look, like
you take Chris Hemsworth's name off that.
No one would have seen this movie, and that's just the way modern movies are made. You know what I mean?
He's Thor.
Like, he's Thor. Like he brings something to it.
Hemsworth equals money.
Hemsworth equals money. Yeah, and it's. I mean, it's just the way movies are. You know what I mean? You have to put a big name next to something in order to bring in the people. It's always been the case.
Well, how about we make his team all different ethnicities and things like that?
Which is what they were.
Which is exactly what they were.
Yeah, and they were great as well. Like the team popped, even though they're not in it for very long.
Yeah.
They popped. They all seemed interesting in some way, and I think his Indian counterpart is just as good, if not better, than Chris Hemsworth in the movie.
That guy needs to be in some Hollywood movies.
He does.
Now.
He's great.
He's really good.
Like I'm going to keep an eye out for what he's doing now.
I know.
So
exactly.
It's an interesting, you know...
He's got a lot of screen time as well.
He does. A lot of it's dedicated to him.
It's not like he's just there to take a box to be like, hey, they're probably going to say white savior, so let's just throw this Indian actor in there for a little bit. Like, no, he really pops. He's got some... I'm afraid to say moments because...
Chris Hemsworth doesn't show up till 15 minutes in, I think, or in and around that. So there you go. It's just... It's one of those things where the movie would never have been seen if you didn't have an American actor in there. Also,
you made a really good point to me when you first watched it that Chris Hemsworth's Australian.
Yeah.
So he's not American, and for some reason it just gives him a touch of flavour.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not just like, hey, here's the Californian white guy with muscles that is coming in. Instead, it's an Australian.
Here's the American former Ranger Green Beret who's the greatest at everything is coming in now to save all these people. Yeah. No, he's this Australian guy. You know, that makes his background kind of a bit more ambiguous.
An Australian tortured soul.
Yeah.
So I do think there's more levels to him than just like the
white
guy from
savior.
California with the shades on going, hey man, well, I'm going to save you from your country's plight.
Totally. I don't know, I think the film does a good job of kind of moving away from the white savior thing. It never bothered me throughout the whole movie.
No, me either. And I understand what they're saying, but then the more I thought about it, the more I thought, oh, well, that kind of breaks a few of the tropes.
Yeah. Like, you know, it does. And it goes against a lot of what it is. Like, the only thing... Most white saviors, it's an American movie trope. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and it's always been the case. And I really don't think Chris Hemsworth solves any problems over there.
No, if anything, he causes them.
He causes a lot more problems.
But I know that I think some audiences, especially someone who's extremely sensitive, they look at it and go, I'm just watching this white guy
save this kid,
kill all these other
non-white guys.
guys.
Yeah.
I think sometimes they just download that information and go equals racist or equals white savior. It's a white guy killing all these people.
It's like when you watch Live and Let Die, you know?
Yeah.
And that movie...
life is not a precious thing in this movie, by the way.
No, life is not precious.
Dead.
No,
dead.
Boom, you're dead. Boom, you're dead. Boom, boom, boom.
Kid, okay, bitch slap.
Yeah.
Your ego's dead.
I actually read...
your social life's dead.
Yeah.
So just bitch slap the shit out of you.
I actually read a comic recently. It was a Guardians of the Galaxy comic. And whenever Rocket shoots someone's in it, he goes, boom, you're dead. Boom, you're dead. And I'm like, this is great. I wish they put that in the movie. But anyway...
Disney would be like, get that fucking out of my face.
Yeah, you couldn't really...
Fired.
You couldn't really acknowledge that Rocket was murdering these people.
You'd come in, you'd write that script, and they'll go, fired, we're going to destroy your career, and then go and tweet saying, creative differences.
We're going to have you back in a few months.
No, but creative differences.
Creative differences first, and then we're going to have you back in a few months. Creative differences. Don't you worry,
it's always
buddy.
that thing, though.
Yeah.
You're like, what really happened? Creative differences.
Creative differences. He wanted to go in one direction, we want to go in the other.
Hey, ask Josh Trank.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh, we'll get into that.
Yeah.
Don't you worry.
Ask Joshy boy over there.
Joshy boy. He's coming up next. But just to wrap up on this white savior talk or whatever, I think the movie does a good enough job of being different enough to not... I think the white savior thing is unjustified in this movie.
Two white guys sticking up for the movie with the white savior problem.
Speaking as the ultimate beaten down race, a straight white man.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think there's a problem with this movie at all.
No. If anything, not enough people die in it, but by the hands of that white, Caucasian, beautiful man.
And how beautiful is he? So beautiful.
So beautiful.
Every woman...
How rugged is he? Just the right amount.
Every woman I've spoken about watching this movie has been like, oh man, Chris Hemsworth.
His forearms.
Oh.
His fucking forearms.
He looks great.
When I see his forearms, I'm like, how's he do that.
Yeah,
I wank every fucking day, man.
I know. I rewind all those scenes as well. Like,
do you?
Yeah, I just rewind and I just look at them like, God damn. In the Snyder Cut reveal trailer, which we will get into, Henry Cavill shows up and I'm like, oh my God, look at the size of the man.
Jesus.
I watched that trailer like 5 times just to see him with his mustache and his huge shoulders.
Huge shoulders. He's in that tank top. He's like, hey guys, I'm just showing up.
He's
here.
literally just like hanging out at
how
home.
Many push-ups did you just do?
Did you do anything to get camera
and
ready?
He's like, I know I'm a slob today. I'm sorry.
Sorry guys, I didn't shave today. It's like, don't do anything, Henry. You look
Whatever
perfect.
You're doing, just keep doing it.
Yeah. Whew. Someone snap up that man quick. Yeah. Anyway, Extraction, watch it if you haven't already.
It's definitely worth a view.
Totally.
If you like thrillers with some good action.
Yeah. It evokes The Raid, I would say. That's kind of like the action style it's going for. And then a bit of...
It has a bit of John Wick is in the creativity, the choreography as well.
The gun fu that kind of goes on. A lot of it's John Wicky.
Yeah, it really is.
I love that that's a genre now, a John Wick genre. Originally it was a Taken. You know what I mean?
Oh, there was so many Takens. There was so many Takens.
It was a Bourne movie, and then it was a Taken.
Do you have an actor?
Yeah.
Past his prime. Needs redemption.
Throw him in there, yeah.
Yeah,
but it's
here's
like,
a dad.
It goes, oh yeah, that's kind of like a Bourne movie. It's like, that's kind of like a James Bond movie. That's kind of like a Bourne movie. That's kind of like a Taken. That's kind of like a John Wick.
Yeah, it's really good.
So I wonder what the next one will be. It won't be Extraction anyway.
No, it definitely won't be. No.
The Raid as well. That's kind of like The Raid. You know what I mean?
The Raid, yeah, but not as much, just because that's not a Hollywood movie.
No, not as big. Even though I've seen both of them and they're both pretty great.
And I've heard loads of directors compliment it and talk about
The Raid.
Like, that changed changed all our fight scenes, because then we're like, oh shit, we need longer scenes. We need longer cut scenes. You know?
Old Boy as well. Old Boy was one I always saw reference for the fight scene. Arguably one of the best fight scenes in movie history.
So good, such a good winner.
I love that people get tired in that fight scene. It's my favorite aspect of it.
And then you watch the James Brolin one. Josh Brolin, and it just shits all over it.
That whole movie,
it's a mockery.
The whole movie shits all over the original movie.
It's so bad. It's terrible.
Sweating. It's very warm in here, ladies and gentlemen. We nearly did a shirtless episode of it.
Almost.
I was up for it, looking as ripped as I am, but Ian didn't want to show his fat body on screen.
No. I'm actually sweating so much.
Flip that, reverse it. That's really what happens.
I was giving you that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're gonna move on to Tranky Boy. He's back making mediocre movies.
Remember that Fantastic Four movie?
Yeah, and everyone was like, "Oh boy, I bet if we got to see his version, it would be better.
It'd be amazing."
Well, he directed, edited, and wrote this movie, Capone. So I think we can safely say
it's all him.
It's all him, and it's bad.
No one touched that paintbrush but him.
Yeah, which is, turns out, not a good thing to just have your own vision done.
Yeah.
George Lucas learned this with Star Wars. You know?
True, exactly. That's a very good version of that as well.
He wanted, originally Han Solo was a lizard man and everything. Chewbacca was like some weird...
That's when you close all the doors and it's just your own thoughts, and that's the only thing you hear.
Only thing.
You need people to collaborate. Now, I'm sure Tom Hardy added bits and pieces here, but whatever he added didn't fucking work either.
But let's...
You want a bit of strange sauce on that? There you go.
That's my fish. That was my fish. That's the voice he's doing the whole time. I realized when I came here that I could do that voice very well.
You really can.
I was tempted to do the whole podcast like that. Meh.
I watched Capone, man, and it was an endurance test. It really was. What happens? Nothing.
He shits himself twice.
He shits himself, he does. It's a lot of shit.
The first time it happens, you're kind of like, oh man, he just shit himself. And then they pull back the rugs and you're like, oh my God.
Whoa.
That is a lot.
It's a scene out of the movie 7.
That is way more shit than I anticipated.
What did you eat?
Yeah. He's Italian, so it's all like bread.
It's all carbs.
It's all bread, oil, and it's like, everything's dipped in oil. And it's
heavy carbs in this?
Yeah.
Not enough.
It's spicy as well.
Has to be.
Got a bit of a kick to it. Ugh. But yeah, Capone is not a good movie, I can safely say.
I wanted to fight in Josh Trank. I wanted to be in Josh Trank's corner.
Me too.
Because of all the stories I've heard about Fantastic Four. Because I'm a fan of Chronicle, and I know a lot of people are. That was a big movie.
It was.
Shot him at the stardom. Every studio wanted a piece of him after that movie. then Fantastic Four happened, and everyone kind of, actually, no, it's actually weird, because some people hated him, and blamed him solely, and then I think after a bit, just like the Snyder Cut, people started to blame Fox.
That's the thing, that's always the natural way of things, because now, if a movie doesn't do well and the director leaves, it's assumed the studio is the problem, you know what I mean?
Yes.
So, but back in...
Solo?
Yeah, Solo,
so
exactly.
So it had a very similar... Ron Howard had to come in after something like 4 or 5 months of shooting. The whole movie was done.
Phil Lord and Chris Miller, wasn't it?
Chris Miller, that's it. The guys who did 21 and 22 Jump Street.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, originally it was like, oh man, that director must have been the real, you know, cracking the whip and everything. But now it's assumed the studio. But actually, you read an article about this where Josh Trank was very open and candid about it. And it seems like it was...
It's a bit of both.
Yeah.
It's definitely a bit of both. He came at it the wrong way.
Do you mind opening up on Wikipedia? We're still on... Extraction. I just want to look at all these numbers. Or was it back there? The Josh Trank gets oh yeah, there's Capone. That's cool. Sorry about that.
No, you're good.
Yeah, but it's it turns out that the Fantastic Four thing, it was he was being a bit of a dictator.
He was not he's not a good guy to collaborate with. That's what I'm getting from it. By the way, he didn't write Chronicle.
No.
He helped with it, but it was your man Max Landis.
Max Landis, yeah, the son of Jonathan Landis.
He also made that amazing movie Bright.
He did.
He
Wonderful
wrote that
movie
as well.
Yeah, he's also...
Directed by David Ayer. We'll get to David Ayer in a while.
He was a big writer on Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency.
I hear that's good.
It is good.
Yeah,
it's very good.
Really good things about that.
Yeah, it's a weird show, but it's very good.
Cool. Well, so he didn't write Chronicle, but he decided after Fantastic Four that he needed to close those doors and let no other creative opinion come in.
Yeah.
And if I've read loads of interviews now, he's so proud of the movie. That's exactly the movie he wanted to make.
He tweeted it out. He was like, "This is finally get to see my cut," and it was Capone that he was putting out.
I think it was different title, but my edit or my cut or something like that. And to me, it's trash. It's bad.
It's really bad.
Nothing happens in the movie. It's such an interesting point of view, you know, like let's make a movie about Capone. I know those people would think, oh, well, let's see him just butchering people with a Tommy gun.
Totally.
No, but let's do this interesting take where it's the last year of his life. He's suffering heavily by syphilis and countless strokes. His body's giving up on him. His mind's disintegrating.
I was going to say...
Hey, this is cool. This is like the fall of power.
Exactly.
And this powerful man is... financially, he's leaking everywhere as well.
He's a shadow
of his... Not just his butt crack leaking, but also his wallet.
He's a shadow of his former self.
I thought, hey, that's an interesting take.
And not a lot of people know that. Like, Capone had syphilis, contracted syphilis when he was 15.
15?
Which is an STD that causes, and I hate to get graphic here, pus to leak from your member, right? Well, you see, everyone's tense now.
Yeah,
but
tense.
We got to get through this. But this man...
For anyone watching YouTube, images. I'm joking. Don't switch off.
Medical diary. But then what slowly happens is it eats away at your body until it gets to your brain, and it slowly eats away at your brain cells, causing things like strokes and everything. Like when they tested him in prison, he had an IQ of like 78 or something.
And he was suffering from the age of 15.
From the age of 15.
You can imagine. Is he 48? I want to say he's in his late 40s.
He's 48, exactly. Yeah, they say. They ask him, they're like, how old are you? Or his psychiatrist is like, how many fingers am I holding up? He's like, 4. And then he's like, how old are you? 4. And it's like, you're 48. You're 48 Fonz, okay? But it's just...
It's such an interesting take on the character. If you read the log line, you're like, oh, this would be cool. This would be interesting to see.
Exactly, and I think we've spoken about it before, where it's like it was an interesting topic, and there's a lot of meat to those bones. You could really get into some good stuff there.
And also the fact that he's mentally being reduced to a child, all these memories are faded and are getting warped.
Yeah.
So I thought there was going to be loads of dives into things that happen in his past, and we kind of get these elements where we kind of see him as a powerful, rich gangster in Chicago, and then we see him in incontinent guy that's just like fucking bathing in his own shit,
getting smacked around by his wife.
Yes.
Yeah. Like Linda Cardellini, everyone's wife in Hollywood.
Hawkeye's wife.
She's Hawkeye's wife. She's Capone's wife. She's Green Book. She's Viggo Mortensen's wife. She's someone else's. We looked this up.
She's Will Ferrell's wife in Daddy's Home.
Yeah. I did some deep diving on this. Linda Cardellini plays every person's wife,
and I would
in
love
anything.
her to play my wife in real life.
Me too. Yeah, she's
a good actress, so she could pretend she's happy.
She's something else. She's Velma in Scooby-Doo, if you don't know who we're talking about. Hawkeye's wife is what I always refer to her as now, because that's just what I think.
But we all know that Hawkeye's real wife is... Cut
the stream. Don't talk about it anymore.
Here, I have her up here.
She's Brokeback Mountain. She's one of the wives that's getting cooked.
Oh, shit,
yeah. She's in Legally Blonde. What else is she in? Oh, Dead to Me, that new TV series. She's playing the wife of someone who gets murdered.
Or is she... No, she is. Isn't she the wife? Or is she the one who murdered?
I don't even fucking... I don't know. I've never watched the show. She's a mom in A Simple Favor, which normally means she's married to someone, therefore a wife. Yeah. There's other stuff. She's in Bloodline. She's playing a character in Bloodline, probably because she's married to someone, therefore making her a wife. She's in The Founder. She's going out with James Marsden's character, James Marsden, and then is stolen by Michael Keaton, who then makes him his wife.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, basically
she's the Hollywood wife.
She's the Hollywood wife, and you know what? I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that too. She's probably not okay with it.
No, probably not.
God damn it, I want to be an Atomic Blonde.
Give me something.
Well, you can be Charlize Theron's wife.
Yeah, who she cheats on with the other one. Yeah, man, she's great though. I like whenever I see
she's really good. She's got that homely vibe.
She does.
I want to make kids with her.
And also she's got the Italian thing, which is what clearly they're going for. You know, she had it in Green Book, and now she's bringing it to this and everything. But she's a bright spot in this really bad movie.
Yeah, I so wanted Josh Trank to get a win.
Yeah, but this really is not a win.
The minute I seen edited by Josh Trank, I was like, okay, so he wrote and directed it, but for fuck's sake, so every creative door is closed. There's no collaboration going on.
No one's coming in on
this.
That
scares me.
And Tom Hardy is the type of actor that, as a director, you have to reel in, because if you don't, he's just going to go out there and have fun with it, which is not inherently a bad thing, you know? Depending on what you're doing. You need a strong director coming in. This is what David Ayer says, you know? David Ayer was not a director to Jared Leto, you know?
Oh, yeah, he was like, what you want to do?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I thought you'd never ask.
Even though Jared Leto's always like, oh yeah, all the bad ideas, those were David Ayer's ideas.
Of course, that's how it goes. You shift the blame. Shift
the blame. David Ayer wants his own cut coming out, but we'll get into that. We both drank at the same time. That's podcast 101. You should never do that. Synchronicity, yeah. We're both synchronized and terrible podcasters.
Yep.
That's the way of things now. But yeah, you know, you really want to win for him, especially because he's so quiet about everything and he just gets on with things. He used to
be anyway.
And now he's coming back and he's like, I haven't heard him say anything after the release of this movie.
Well, I seen all the interviews saying this is exactly the product I wanted to make. Makes me think I never want to see any other movie he makes.
Yeah.
Because if this is the type of movie he wants to make, well then it doesn't resonate with me. It doesn't connect with me.
No,
I think it's trash.
Yeah.
Also, when you have the likes of Tom Hardy there, God damn it, you need to direct that man though. He's a crazy person in this, folks. There's a lot of grunting. There's a lot of facial expressions. At one point, he's in women's clothing. And it's a funky scene.
Yeah, it's all a bit
mad.
But
did that happen?
And then
who knows?
Yeah, who knows? And then he's in Venom, and he's like, I want to end up in the fish tank.
Yeah, as an actor, he came in that restaurant scene where Michelle Williams and her new man friend,
and he's like, I'm going in the fish tank, Mrs. Chen.
But that's actually what he said. As an actor, he came in there and goes, fish tank.
At some stage, I'm ending up in there.
I'm going in there.
Yeah.
And Ruben Fletcher, is that his name?
Yeah.
He's like, okay,
Mr. Hardy, you do that. Whereas in this, I imagine Tom Hardy was sitting there and he's like, so Tom, you do whatever you want to see.
Funny voice.
Funny. That was my fish. That was my fish. Was it worth it? Was it worth it? And then he goes, great work, Tom. I'm going to edit this. It's going to be great.
That sounds like you're doing a parody of it, but he sounds like that.
Yeah, it's pretty dead on.
Doing a parody of it, but like it does sound like that. It really does.
Dead on. I need to get an exact line. I think the "Was it worth it" is the best one I do. Was it worth it? That's it. And then Matt Dillon is in there.
Is he?
Is he there? Is he not there? It doesn't make sense. Even when the movie is deliberately fucking with you, it doesn't make sense when you even stop to think about it, which I don't think you're supposed to do, because we're getting into spoiler territory, but I don't think anyone's going to see this, so I don't think anyone cares.
light spoilers. Let's do light spoilers. But let's just say that there's kind of a Joker element to it because the guy's mind is disintegrating. So sometimes you don't know if you're seeing from his point of view. So sometimes you're kind of questioning the reality of the movie because you're like, okay, I'm pretty sure that happened, but then there's other things where you're going, is he imagining this conversation or not?
Okay,
but if you go back and you try to retrace those threads, it makes no fucking sense whatsoever.
Here's the way.
Movie science, if I try to implement the movie science, if you watch Fight Club and then you go back, you go, oh my god, I see it.
I see it. Whereas in Joker, here's the way to look at this. Arthur Fleck, when he's imagining something, he is at least present there. Yes. And he's not imagining something where he has no involvement in. Whereas in this movie, there are times when Capone is imagining two characters outside of himself having an interaction at something happening, and then they become involved in his life. But the only reason that is there as an audience is to make you go, oh, so that person wasn't real the whole time. Oh, how clever.
It's some fuckery. It's like they're tricking you to think, okay, this definitely happened. But then you can't just jump back on it then and go, oh, well, that's... Where the lines blur too much. Yeah. The lines way too blur. I'm actually getting angry just thinking about it.
I know the lines blur too much, and there's no plot to this movie. There's nothing interesting going on. You know, in a movie, movie 101, character starts at point A, ends up at point B. Yeah. That's the idea. You know, he goes on a journey, ends up here. In this one, Capone starts off sick and he ends up sicker. That's about it.
That's it. Yeah. Sick and then sicker. That's it.
There's no journey. There's nothing.
I would say there's no character development.
Nothing.
No
one develops as a character. It's just Capone gets a little bit worse and worse until eventually he doesn't, not in the movie, but they tell you at the end he dies shortly after.
But if you pitch the idea of his last final year and everything shutting down, even his wallet, I would bite. Yeah, I would bite. I'd be like, too. Okay, I'm in. That sounds great. Let's just get someone who has a good mind for this type of stuff.
Yeah.
Who guess what? It's not Josh Trank.
Or at least get Josh Trank in, but make him collaborate with someone
who can write a movie.
Someone come in as script supervisor and just go, you know what, maybe we should tidy this up a little bit. It's unclear. We need to do this for the audience, blah blah blah. You know, it's just not good.
Do you know, when I was watching it, I was thinking, okay, if after all that shit that went down with Fox and Fantastic Four, if I was the head of a studio that was funding this, and then he shows me the first, in post-production, he shows me the first edit that he has, I would turn into whatever Fox was during Fantastic Four. I would turn into that dick going, hold on, where the fuck's my money? Yeah. Okay, we gotta re-edit this. Yeah. We need someone to come in. Yeah. We need a Joss Whedon.
Yeah, get Joss in.
The Snyder territory. We need
Capone's lying down. I hurt myself. Something's broken. Something's bleeding.
We need some serious reshoots here, guys. Yeah. We need some serious reshoots.
He shits himself and everyone laughs. The best part is in the movie is when the Wizard of Oz is in there. That's my favorite bit. It's the bit I was happy to rewatch that again.
And actually, here, this is like a really light spoiler because it's at the start. And when I read interviews with Josh Trank talking about this movie,
craft,
and where the seed of the idea came into his head, and then he developed it. He was thinking because he kind of has parallels with this in his own life because at one point he was kind of housebound. He was taking all the shit from Twitter. The internet was coming after him. They were thirsty for his blood after Fantastic Four and the shit show that movie was. So he was in his own house and he's listening to all these stories. There's podcasts like us. We're probably adding to the shit. But
Josh.
Hey, Josh.
He's a fan.
No, he doesn't take in any information anyway that's at all collaborative. Yeah, and we threw some ideas out there.
Even though he did like one of our comments and something.
He did, by the way. Yeah. He did. Hey, shout out to him there.
Shout out to Josh.
I mocked the poster because I said that's the worst dandruff I've ever seen, and the poster's like his mind disintegrating.
There's the poster.
And I hashtagged Head and Shoulders.
Hang on, hold for laughter. Hold for laughter.
I'll put in a laughing track.
Yeah, put in a laugh track there. But then,
he actually liked my comment where I was dissing his movie poster.
Pretty sweet.
And since he doesn't collaborate, he probably designed it himself. Probably on Photoshop at home.
Would not be surprised.
But anyway, sorry, I was going to say that when he was housebound and he was listening to all these stories about himself, and he was saying a lot of it was fiction and didn't happen that way, but he's just hearing his own name. He's like, hey, that guy sounds similar to me, but that's not how it went down. Yeah. He was thinking, imagine Capone, and he's sitting in a chair. And all that power is kind of slowly draining from him financially and just mentally and physically. And he hears a radio play of the Capone character.
Yeah.
And just how farcical would that be? How weird would that be to hear this iteration of yourself? And yes, it's heavily fictionalized.
Yeah.
And I was going, that sounds great.
Yeah, why can't we have a flashback or even an imagination scene where he's imagining this thing, or even he turns to a kid who's listening as well. He's like, "That's not how it happened," and you see this flash of this vicious, violent mobster.
It's way more bloody. It's just raining in blood.
Yeah, and
where instead we just kind of get him there pissing himself. You know,
you kind of just have to assume that he was like, you're like, oh yeah, he was a bad guy. Like they don't. I
want to see some of the strength.
Yeah,
I want to see him. You know what? It's too internal. It's actually too internal. Where I'm like, I guess Tom Hardy playing Al Capone is trying to convey this thing of like this strong man, or once was strong, struggling with all this power that's draining from him, struggling from how weak he is now. But you don't. It's too internal. You have to kind of like just. You have to project it onto the movie yourself. You have to do the work.
Oh yeah, at one stage this guy was powerful. I know that. I know that because the movie's kind of telling me that, but not showing it to me.
The subtleties are too subtle. They're too subtle.
That's movie 101, show don't tell. You know what I mean? Don't tell me he was a powerful guy. Show me he's a powerful guy. Don't tell me Shuri is smarter than everyone in the Marvel Universe. Show me how she's smarter. You know what I mean? But
you'll never get over that.
I know, it's just the example I go to because I always think, for the Russos, I think that's bad writing, but that's a character that was set up in Black Panther, so it's not really their fault. Anyway, Capone, I like, my idea for the movie is the better way to do it is to have it from the perspective of the FBI character who's coming in, and maybe have him like harassing Capone, and all we see he's just a sympathetic figure who's like losing his mind and everything, and he's just have him really going after this old man and almost like, why are you doing this? And then right at the end we get a flashback or something just to remind you of what this guy used to be like, and then you sort of understand why the FBI are coming after him so hard still, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was what I was thinking in the movie, but that just doesn't happen.
Well, for me, I would love to still actually focus on Capone. He'd be the main character.
Yeah.
But I just want to see more of the struggle. I want to see him internally struggle with his bravado just like drained completely, you know, that way. And I want to see flashbacks, even if you don't need to tell me the full story or anything like that.
No.
But I need to see him as a strong Chicago gangster. I need to see him drenched in blood. I need to see him as a force that to be reckoned with. I want to see him as that guy, and then see him in Continental, and see him pissing the bed.
Everyone's telling you, you used to have it all up here, Al. You'd have it all up here, or Fonz, as they call him. Yeah, you used to have it all up here. But it's like, I know you're telling me that, but I don't see any genius criminal mastermind here. All I see is the guy shitting himself.
And I don't need you to paint the full picture. That's the thing. But I need something more.
Give me something.
You gave me nothing. You gave me fucking nothing. Okay.
Yeah.
So I need something.
Even in the flashback or whatever scenes or whatever, it's the incontinent one we're looking at. It's not even the powerful one.
Yeah.
Anyway, look, we didn't really like it.
It was an endurance test to watch.
It was.
It took me ages. The film's around an hour 40 minutes long. Let me see. It's a motherfucker.
I had to come back to it.
I had to come back to it too. It's 104 minutes long, and I struggled all the way through. What's that? An hour and 44 minutes.
44. Yeah, man, I struggled.
It took me around 2.5 hours to watch it. I had to pause it once or twice because I was getting frustrated.
I watched 40 minutes on Monday. It's now Sunday, and I watched the rest of the movie like yesterday.
But this says it all. We were comparing Tom Hardy as an actor I love
to Nicolas Cage.
Yeah. And then we were starting to see the parallels between Tom Hardy in Venom, where he's totally off the leash.
Ever heard of a movie called Ghost Rider?
Facial expression after facial expression.
Clawing at his skin and everything.
Can you overact even more? What, you want me to go from 11 to 12?
I can turn it up, yeah.
There's always another notch.
Yeah. Bum, 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 bum,
he's got his clothes off again, folks.
Yeah. Oh, baby, he's naked. Let's go. He's squeezing the butt.
Nicolas Cage is the guy that shooting. He was doing voice work for the Croods, and he was like, "You could, that's that scene where I go underwater. You can actually waterboard me." And they had to talk him out of it. They were like, "It's a DreamWorks production. We don't need to waterboard you." And he's like, "Too late, guys. I already practiced it at home. I got my wife to do it.
Waterboard me, bro. Waterboard me. Put me underwater." Can't really do very good at Nicolas Cage.
It's bad though that we're looking at Tom Hardy, an actor who I love.
Yeah.
And he's getting too goofy. He's getting too much of a parody of himself.
Totally. You see it in Venom, and you see it more in this. He just needs a director needs to come in and rein him in. Now listen,
he's got the talent. Like that. That's we're not arguing about that.
I think Nicolas Cage's point comes from he's trying to do something crazy and he's trying to be out there and everything, whereas Tom Hardy is just having a bit of fun with it. You know what I mean? But because he's having fun, sometimes you don't get the performance that the movie needs, so therefore you have to rein him in.
Yeah.
Like Eddie Brock might even be like, what is that character really?
It's so goofy, and we were saying this earlier on that at this point it's almost like Tom Hardy doesn't do an accent. He does a goofy voice. That's what it is. That's his accent.
Good night, Mrs. Chen. Goodbye. Good night, Mrs. Chen.
Hello, Mr. Batman.
Do you feel in control?
He need more brows going. Very expressive brows. That's all he had was brows.
I don't have expressive brows. That's the thing. Christopher Nolan is
your biggest downfall.
I know, it's my one day. Curse you! No, Christopher Nolan says that like Tom Hardy is the most expressive face, so he was okay with hiding him behind the mask and everything, which is true. But still, it's... Yeah, I mean...
I'm such a fan of Tom Hardy, and I hate saying this, but he's becoming a bit of a joke. Venom and Capone. Yeah. It's too silly. It's too goofy. Where's the nuanced performance?
Venom 2 is on the way as well. So, look, we're hoping he'll turn things around.
Andy Serkis just
reins him in. I mean, listen, he could do it, you know? Yeah. He could do it.
The talent is there. That's not the problem.
No, it's control.
The control.
Need a bit of control. Anyway, speaking of control, let's move on to the Snyder Cut. The thing the internet is all talking about. The Snyder Cut is happening.
This is not a drill. It's actually happening.
May 2021.
My friend rang me and said, "Did you see the news? Snyder Cut's happening." Yeah. And I was like, "No, it's not. Fuck you." Went online. I was like, "Oh my god, it actually is happening."
And Ian broke the news to me. And as you know, we've always been supporters of the Snyder Cut on this show. We've said it was definitely going to happen, that it was a real thing.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see it. It's going to be better. I especially
have been very vocal about how much I love the idea of the Snyder Cut. No, look, I mean...
I'm happy it's happening.
Yeah, I can't believe they've actually done this. I mean... Yeah,
this is strange. This is very strange time for Hollywood.
I will say it sets a terrible precedent for Hollywood.
It really does.
And the only reason they're doing this now is because it will make millions.
That's the thing. So we read articles where they were saying that Release the Snyder Cut fans were bullying Warner Brothers, this corporation that owns your father and mother.
Yeah, I know. It's like all these articles, people being like, first of all, they bully the actors, then they bully the critics, then they bullied Warner Brothers most of all. It's like, you can't bully a studio.
Now, there was some toxic fandom there. I'm not saying that. I'm not arguing that, but no one bullies Warner Brothers. No one bullies Warner Brothers. No. Warner Brothers waited until it was financially feasible. They're like, oh, we can make money out of this now. You know those people that we're ignoring? Okay, let's listen to them because it'll make us money.
Yeah, we saw how much the hashtag was trending and everything, and we see the support there. So yeah, sure. It's like when everyone reacted well to the footage, they're like, oh, well, we'll make a Deadpool movie.
Once they seen dollar signs, he unmuted those fans.
Exactly.
That's all. They just had them on mute.
Exactly.
Are you telling me that Warner Brothers CEO was losing sleep over the release of Snyder Cut?
So mean to me.
This hashtag,
the Snyder Cut. Breathe. They said, I don't know how to make a good movie, and can someone please fix my money bed?
Yeah, and then his wife's coming with golden soup, and she's wiping his tears with money.
I don't want to eat. I don't feel like eating. No,
trophy wife, by the way, of course.
Yeah, 50 years younger than him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But like, I mean, if Disney didn't want to fire James Gunn, they wouldn't have. They just did it as a PR move. Yeah. You know, everything is PR. Everything is to do with profits. You know,
it's all profits.
Yeah,
it's all profits.
If they thought there would be no backlash to their profit margin if they kept on James Gunn, they would have kept him on. That's why they brought him back.
The same reason that Chris Hemsworth is in Extraction is the reason why they're making the Snyder Cut right now.
Money.
There's a book to be made.
Eyeballs. There's stuff to be made there. And listen, you know, I want to give credit to the Snyder Cut people because they stuck at it for so long.
Now, some of their tactics was a bit underhanded. Totally. I did think that they were too aggressive at times, but it did fucking work. The only problem is it kind of opens the floodgates.
Everyone wants a recut now. The Last Jedi redone. Ayer cut of Suicide Squad.
The Ayer cut. Fuck you guys. Fuck you guys.
No, David Ayer, like, he didn't even do it jokingly. You know what I mean?
It's also so different.
Yeah,
it's so different. He didn't leave the project. He wasn't either fired, depending on who you talk to, or left the project because of a family matter.
No.
It depends on who you talk to.
That movie was still ending with a giant beam shooting into the sky and everyone fighting each other there.
Now, I'm sure it's a different type of film if he just had his complete way. By the way, there's also an extended cut.
Yeah.
A Suicide Squad.
That he says is more in line with his version or whatever the fuck.
What really pisses me off about this whole thing is that David Ayer sat there and said, "This is my cut."
Yeah.
Of the one that was released. He said, "This is my cut and I'm proud of this movie."
No, don't worry. This is actually my cut, everyone.
Now, I understand that you got to be political about these things. Don't do a Josh Trank. Josh Trank tweeted the weekend that Fantastic Four was coming out saying, "This is not my cut and I had a better version of it beforehand." In other words, career suicide.
He basically said 6 months ago I had a great version of this movie. Now you're getting this.
This is on the eve of the film being released. And I'm telling you, when you see a director say that, first of all, it goes viral.
Yeah.
And then dollars are reduced. They just are. No matter what, Fox lost out. Like, the movie's trash. It's absolute trash. It spits in your eyes and it pisses in your mouth.
Yeah.
But either way, they still lost money because of Josh Trank tweeting that.
It's kind of a childish way it moved.
Now, you could tweet that after 2 weeks.
After the movie has bombed and just, give a candid review where, like, listen, I had to support the movie before, but now that it's out, this really isn't my cut. I had a better version, blah, blah, blah. There's a way of putting it that doesn't seem defensive and childish and preemptive and everything.
The preemptiveness is the worst thing about it.
A Rogue One cut as well. Gareth Evans. They want Gareth Evans' cut of the movie.
But the movie's good.
The movie's fine.
Why are we changing it?
Everything leading up to the movie is only decent. Everything leading up to the finale is only decent, but the finale is the only thing that's different.
Yeah, and also it's a happier ending.
Yeah.
I love the ending.
Me too.
I love the ending. It's so not what I expected.
Yeah.
I'm like, they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't have the balls to do that.
Yeah.
And then they had the ending that's in there. Actually, we can spoil it. They die at the end.
They die. Everyone gets blown up. And it's great. And they don't do a kiss at the end, which I actually liked. I appreciate it.
Me too.
Yeah. Because I didn't, the chemistry was there, but it didn't feel fleshed out enough. No. You know what I mean? But, Rogue One, everyone says about Rogue One, listen, you get through the first part, end of it, amazing.
I know.
Brilliant. After a certain point, they get the scarf, and everything after that is great. You know what I mean? So why do they want this Gareth Evans cut or whatever?
There's one cut that fans have been clamoring for now, and it riled me up, and what? I don't think you know about this.
No.
So Paul Feig, the director of Ghostbusters, has a 3.5 hour cut of that movie before Sony meddled with it. I'm telling you, okay?
Yeah.
That's torture right there.
Yeah.
If you set me down and you play that movie, 5 minutes in, don't mind 3.5 hours, 5 minutes in, I'm telling you everything. Everything.
Yeah.
North Korea, you want to know all the codes or I will tell you whatever. I'll lie to you. I'll tell you whatever you want.
Yeah. I tell you what, Paul Feig, you want to prove that that's a worthy version? Leak the script. Leak the script of that version. Leak the script and we'll all read it and then we'll go, oh wow, this really does look like a good version. Or we'll go, wow, this is not very good at all.
When I seen that, I was like, Snyder Cut!
Come on, Snyder Cut. Look.
Do not. The Snyder Cut is a very unique situation.
Yeah.
It's extremely unique. It's not like the David Ayer cut of Suicide Squad. That's a completely different situation.
Yeah.
The Snyder Cut, it was a 6 to 7 month shoot. And then someone else came in and finished it and added, like Josh Whedon came in and added
changed the
scenes.
vision.
It's completely different. And you got to think, like Zack Snyder, he sweated and he put everything into that movie, whether it's good or not.
Yeah.
He put a lot into that. He put a lot of time and effort into that movie.
Yeah.
It was 7 months of a shoot. That's huge, by the way. Like Ant-Man will be shot twice. The first Ant-Man was shot twice there.
By the way, the critical reception for Justice League is 40%. Batman v Superman sits at a 28%. So that is, Batman v Superman is, as far as I know, and the old extended cut is Zack Snyder's cut of the movie.
Especially the extended cut.
Yeah. Man of Steel, what's that sitting at on Rotten Tomatoes or whatever?
I think it's between 50 and 60%.
50 and 60%. So that's the highest reviewed Zack Snyder movie, which was, again, his entire vision, his entire cut. Still not great.
No.
So
I thought it was good. Like, I mean, Man of Steel is a great building point. You know, like it's a stepping off point. It's good foundations.
Yeah.
And it's only going to get better. That's what you think in your head. You're like, hey, okay. Like Thor's okay, but like, hey, let's make it better. And then they give you the
Thor
shit
2,
show,
and then you're like, oh my god, I never want to watch another Thor movie. And then Thor 3, basically because they had such a shit show with the second Thor, they brought in Taika Waititi, who was like, I'm a bit sick of Thor, and then they does something cool with it. Yeah. But yeah, like. So statistically, this movie is not going to get much better.
Historically.
In fact, historically, it'll probably get worse with Zack Snyder's cut. But it is definitely his cut, and it's his. And as you pointed out to me, I was a bit more critical of this, and you had done more research than me, and you were saying that there actually is like 3 hours of footage of an entirely different movie. You made an excellent point. How many scenes with Superman is there where I don't know what's going on with this? Yeah. How many scenes of Superman with the dodgy face? Every single scene in that movie.
The Sonic clip.
Yeah. They say, 15 to 20 minutes of the movie is Josh Whedon reshoots?
Well, no, they said that Charles Roven, the main producer, said... By the way, he's the guy whose phone was tapped by what's his name, the director Die Hard.
Yeah.
John McTiernan.
John McTiernan.
But anyway, that's for check out that episode. We have a Die Hard episode.
Plugging ourselves.
Full of trivia. It's so good, and we got our biceps out.
We do. Some of them are better than others.
You decide.
It is. I'll decide.
Just stop, would you? Anyway, Charles Roven said 15 to 20% of Justice League. The one that came out is Joss Whedon. 15 to 20%. 15 to 20% of the movie is that floating lip alone.
At least. So it's a good 40 minutes of that movie that is Josh Whedon's, I would say. And that's not even like...
It's a 2-hour-long movie with credits.
And that's not changing full scenes. That's changing context. That's changing character motivations.
See, we got to think about that as well. There could be scenes that are from the Snyder cut, but because the setup is different and the end result is different as well, then the context has changed.
For example, we were looking at the scene where they dig up Superman's body. Also... a stupid fucking scene. No matter what cut it is, we are watching characters, superheroes, dig up the body of Superman. What the fuck? Why are we watching that scene?
Also, by the way, Wonder Woman could just scoop it up.
Yeah. Why is it taking so long? Why is the Flash not using his super speed to dig it up? Why is Wonder Woman not just reaching into the ground? Like what?
Are you trying to be respectful?
Anyway,
it better be. It better be that.
Suffice to say that. They have that scene and it's Cyborg and Flash talking and whatever, but they're apparently in the background you can see Wonder Woman and Aquaman, and they probably have their own scene. So that's something that is in the Zack Snyder cut. It's just a bit longer.
Exactly. Yeah.
So there are clearly these scenes that are just extended. There are some scenes where the context is changed by Josh Whedon, you know? And
context is key, because I'm sure you can manipulate loads of scenes and be like, okay, well, we can kind of throw that in there. Yeah. Gives us this little connective tissue, or this little moment with two characters. Yeah. But really, we're not seeing the setup and we're not seeing the end result, so it's weird.
All of the Flash pushing and moving things, that's Josh Whedon. How many scenes with pudgy Batman? How many scenes with fake lip Superman? You know what I mean? Like,
and it also makes no sense, because if you watch Batman versus Superman, Batman got so much cardio in the third act. So much cardio in the third act.
He was just running all over the place, shooting a zip line, hiding from Doomsday, because that's a cool thing for Batman to do. Just
hey, who was that all? Zack Snyder, Mr. Snyder himself.
Exactly. But look,
I'm excited because I'm curious.
And Zack Snyder's wife, Deborah Schneider, said that it may be released episodically, and she said that is the best form for that movie to be released in.
That says a lot about
says a lot about the cut. Says a lot about the quality of the content they're putting out. You know,
it's true. So the Snyder cut is 3 hours and 34 minutes.
People
long.
are saying 5 hours. That's not true. It's 3 hours.
5 hours was the assembly cut, which is when you just put everything together. And loads of films are like 5 hours long when you put everything together, and then you go, "Oh my god, there's so much fat."
The
on
Irishman,
and I'm not talking about Batman.
The Irishman was 24 hours long. Funny enough,
I'd say so. Yeah, 3 days long. No wonder they were editing that for over a year. Yeah. But anyway, it was 5 hours long. It was almost, I think, the way Zack Snyder put it was the assembly cut was almost 5 hours long. And now it was 214 minutes long, which translates to 3 hours and 34 minutes.
Yeah, and this movie was meant to set up a trilogy.
Yeah. But that was going to be his release. Like, that was his edit. That was his cut of the movie. So you can kind of imagine Warner Brothers being like, it's how long?
Yeah.
Endgame was 3 hours long, and that was controversial.
Yeah, Warner Brothers coming in, it's how long, and it's not even the ending, it's the setup for a trilogy.
See, you gotta think, okay, Warner Brothers they're thinking dollar bills. So
Yeah.
You make a movie and you release it that's 3.5 hours long. How many times can you show that a day in one screen? That they think of that. That's a huge factor.
Exactly. Even Lord of the Rings, one of the greatest epics ever put to film, they still cut it down to like 2-hour versions for the cinema. Yeah, you get your home release that's 3 hours long. That is, in my opinion, the only way to watch those movies now. But still, like, I can't even watch the cut down version because I'm like, this scene's missing. I've lost all context. I don't know. I can't watch this anymore. No, but like, you even think about those movies, they cut that down and then they released it later. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just, I don't know. There's a lot there, but
I think there's a lot of reasons why he may have got fired. But now I know there's different
family trauma.
There's family trauma, but then there's rumors that this was going on in the background way beforehand. Yeah. So I'm not sure, but either way, I'm very curious and excited to see it.
Curious?
Sorry?
Bi-curious?
I may be bi-curious.
Yeah, okay.
In general.
Like yeah.
But I'm looking forward to seeing it, but my expectations are low.
Me too.
But one thing I really hope when this comes out, there's no going to be, well, Warner Brothers still actually came in and they twisted this and twisted that. Yeah. I really want it just to be Zack Snyder, because it's called now, it's not the Snyder Cut, it's Zack Snyder's Justice League, which I actually really like because it's so possessive. Yeah. It's like it's undoubtedly his. Yeah. So I better be. I want no excuses. If this is good or bad, I want no excuses.
But
either way,
a few things to say on that. It is coming out, number one.
It's coming out.
A few things to say. Number one is, if it turns out to be episodic and the criticism is then, well, they put in stuff as filler, so it would have made a better movie. No, that is all Zack Snyder's stuff. And Zack Snyder has to be the one to come out and say, no one meddled with this. This is exactly mine.
This is my vision.
This is my vision completely. He can never go back on that. So whatever he puts on screen has to be the ultimate final version. No more pussyfooting around it.
Which is also, by the way, not his responsibility. It's HBO Max and Warner Brothers' responsibility to give him that freedom.
Yeah, exactly. But
I want no excuses.
No, and they're going to give him 20 million apparently to do it.
He said 20 to 30 million, which I would balk at. I think that's so silly.
Yeah.
Because there's money to be made. They know there's money to be made. And Netflix spent so much money. Actually, the one I was using, the example was that Greyhound, that Tom Hanks passion project, that, watch the trailer, it looks kind of goofy.
Bought by Apple TV.
For 70 million. They bought the streaming rights of that movie for 70 million. You're telling me
the Snyder Cut?
And if you do it in chapters, you could do that weekly.
Yeah, I know.
And you're going to get 6 weeks, say, of content. Maybe 5 to 6 weeks of content. It's definitely worth at least 50 million, if not more.
But I know you're saying it's not Zack's responsibility, but I actually think it is. I think it's his.
Well, he shouldn't do it if they don't.
That's what I'm saying. If he feels like he's being, I can't think of the word. Not chafed.
If their hands were meddling with it at all. Yeah.
If he's being constricted creatively, he needs to say. He needs to not put it out for the sake of it. He needs to walk away from it. Yeah, because honestly, if this comes out and even after that he's like, oh, it's not my cut, it's just a fucking joke at that stage. Yeah. You know what? It's your fault now that this movie is like this. And another thing is, I don't know if fans understand the ownership they now have of this, and you saw it with Sonic to a lesser degree.
Yeah, they're responsible now.
You're responsible now, so it is your job now. I think anyone who ever used this hashtag, the Snyder Cut, blah, blah, blah.
Release the Snyder Cut,
any of that shit. Your job now to go pay for HBO Max and watch it.
Yeah, it's your responsibility. Yeah. You're obligated to do this now, and I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't think that's going to happen either.
And I have a feeling that they're going to go, fuck Warner Brothers, you should have done this in the first place.
Exactly. That's why.
You cannot do that. You can't do that. You can't sit two sides of the fence.
Exactly. You can't be
like happy. I'm doing right now.
I know, yeah. But that's the thing, though. That's just people. That's always the case. You see it all the time. They want one thing, you give them that, and then they say, well, no, you shouldn't have done that because this happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just how people are. But it's just the bullshit I'm trying to anticipate about this. Also, this movie will never be reviewed objectively by fans.
Never.
Ever.
They've already decided. It's amazing.
They've already decided it's amazing.
You can't fucking do that. You just can't do that.
All they need is for this to be a better movie than Justice League in some way for them to go,
and then they're vindicated.
This is the greatest movie of all time. You know, this is the best comic book movie ever. It's like with Daredevil. Fans of the original Daredevil movie, they're like, well, if you watch the extended cut, it's actually a much better film, which I have heard it is, but still not a good movie.
Yeah.
So I don't think this movie is going to move into good movie territory. It has the potential.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I watched have you ever seen the Batman versus Superman extended cut?
Yes, I have.
It really helps.
It does.
There's a lot more context to it because it was pared down. Then again, Zack Snyder goes and makes a 3-hour long movie.
Yeah.
You know, this is just is that the second DCEU movie?
He's just like, for him to even say like, yeah, I have a cut of this movie, it's 3 hours long. It's like, Zach, you know that's not how long these movies can be. Like, it's so stupid.
That's the problem. You have responsibility as well.
Yeah.
I don't think it was just Warner Brothers.
No.
But at the same time,
yeah,
I'm really happy to see that this is happening.
I can understand why Warner... Sorry, you were saying something?
No, go ahead.
can understand why Warner Brothers are fed up, because why they got fed up, because it's a bit like, hey, yeah, I'll make Batman v Superman. Oh yeah, I'm going to throw all these cools in. So here's my cut. It's 3 hours long. They're like, Zach, come on, you know you can't do that.
No, at the same point.
Yeah.
You get Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
What does Warner Brothers do? They double down.
Yeah.
They don't go, oh, hold on. Let's push back Justice League by a year.
No.
And let's reassess the situation. Instead, a month after it came out, they're straight into production. Mm-hmm. So they had the they had the moment where they could have went, you know what, I know we're our heart's set on that date and we want to fast track this, but maybe this is not the right approach.
Maybe it's not the right approach.
Like, maybe Zack's vision just needs to be crafted a bit better. Let's look over this entire project again, because they're the ones who okayed the script. Are you telling me Warner Brothers gave him $250 million without reading the script?
Yeah, exactly. Also, like, you don't think they ever went to...
Well, maybe that's why Zack was so pissed off as well, because he's like...
They okayed it.
You guys, you said go ahead.
You said it was okay.
Keep running this train.
Yeah. Runaway train, never coming back. When Dee sings that to the hitchhiker in Always Sunny. Anyway.
So, I mean, there's so many levels to this.
So many angles.
You can't just go... He's to blame.
Yeah.
Or she's to blame.
Yeah.
There's a lot to blame. A lot of people made wrong moves.
I see everyone's side. Even that bullied, beaten down studio called Warner Brothers, you know?
Poor guys.
I can't believe they were taking its lunch money every day and stuffing it into a locker.
I know. Will it ever get over?
I don't know. It'll be one of those things where it confronts its bullies years later.
HBO Max will be so fearful now.
Hey, you, get your hands off her, man. Yeah. That's what it is. The Warner Brothers fans step around, their fucking tight Superman tops on, standing up. What did you say, little boy? Just to say, like, I know it's a lesser thing, but Sonic, there was an ownership there from fans because they had the thing changed and it didn't improve Sonic's performance at the box office.
It made $300 million. It's kind of okay.
It's okay. It didn't improve its performance at the box office or improve the movie, really.
I'd love to know the number of people that tweeted about it and then compare that to
who went and saw it.
Who went and saw it and how much it made.
Exactly. Like, I ripped on the Sonic movie, but I would have preferred to see an average Sonic movie that has a demonic looking Sonic than I would have an average movie that has a normal looking Sonic, you know? So, Snyder Cut fans, you owe it to yourselves and the cause you started and created. Fair play to yous. Now, be upstanding about it and follow through. And Zack Snyder, don't let anyone compromise your vision this time.
No way.
Yeah.
Also, we gotta just ask, what happens to the DCEU?
Yeah.
Like, it's already a mess. It's already a shit show where, like, say, Aquaman almost forgets about that movie that just happened, but it still existed, and same actor, same outfit, everything, like, so even Kate, what's her one name who plays Mira? Johnny Depp's love of his life. Beautiful relationship.
Yeah, beautiful. It turns out she was a bit bad as well.
Just two roses in the wind.
Roses, yeah.
But anyway, Amber Heard.
Nice.
She's really fond of iPhones, I heard.
She is, yeah.
And cracking them off Johnny Depp's head.
Yeah, punching Johnny as well, you know.
I was too drunk to feel that blow anyway.
Oh, yeah, of course he was.
But anyway, like, she's in it. Like, it's so weird how the DCEU... It's an absolute shit show. It's even hard to break down. But I would love to know what will happen. Right? Imagine, let's say the Snyder Cut comes out and it's amazing. It's amazing. Most likely not.
No.
But let's say it's amazing, right? And people are like, holy shit, this is what they had on the table?
Yeah.
Instead, they got Joss Whedon to just give us some, like, overcooked piece of steak. Anyway, what did you do then? Then did they go, well, we're going to make that the continuity now?
Yeah.
Like, it's... There's so many problems. It's such a shit show. Like, and then we have a different iteration of Joker. We have a different iteration of Batman. I'd love if they just owned it and said, "This is all separate. This is all different." Okay?
Ben Affleck is not coming back as Batman, no matter what the reception in this movie.
His body can't come back as Batman.
Ezra Miller potentially won't be heard from in a very long time.
Yeah, choke slamming bitches.
He's choke slamming women all over the place, so he's busy, and people just not reacting to that. Look it up. Ezra Miller chokeslams a woman.
It happened.
It happened.
Flash chokeslammed a woman.
Flash chokeslammed a woman. I know if you look at most media websites, you didn't hear about it, but
I don't know if you watch Joss Whedon's Justice League.
Yeah,
he's never been in battle.
No,
he just pushes people. He actually chokeslams women.
He actually pushes her up in the air by her neck and pushes her down on the floor by the neck.
Yeah, so check that out.
But now we're going to move on to the new DC movie, the next one that's in the lineup, which is The Batman. Matt Reeves' Batman.
Matt Reeves' Batman. We have some qualms.
So,
the quarantine lifestyle has affected Robert Pattinson's, I guess, workout routine.
I'm just going to pull up... just got to pull up something. I want to pull up the message thread of when I discovered this heinous crime that Robert Pattinson was committing to. So, Ian and I obviously text and we discuss everything that happens, and I sent him an article that I found. Hang on, where is this?
Just slightly disgruntled.
Just a teensy weensy bit. Just a little offensive. I sent him the link and I said, I found this article offensive, and that was a measured response. And then the next day when I saw Ian, he was like, I just let loose. I let loose.
You vented.
I vented.
To say the least.
Robert Pattinson has decided that he doesn't want to, and you know what, I won't quote him now because I want to get his exact wording. I want to know exactly what he is. But basically what he's saying is he's not working out, he's not getting in a certain level of shape because of the expectations of Hollywood movies. So he's not going to be this cut and rip Batman. He's just kind of doing the basics.
It sets a harmful standard, I guess.
It sets a harmful standard for people, I believe.
To what? Your confidence? To other people's confidence?
Yeah. You're hurting people. People are upset that Batman looks ripped. Is that what you're saying?
That he looks strong? That he has a physicality about him?
That Batman looks like he could beat people up really easily.
The man who doesn't have an actual superhero power.
The man who has to be in peak Olympic level condition in order to stay relevant. You're saying that guy shouldn't be?
Nah, that doesn't sound right.
When Zoe Kravitz is working out 5 days a week to get in Catwoman shape.
Someone thinking logically wouldn't say something like that. Especially to like maybe a big magazine.
Like Vanity Fair, GQ or something like that.
I never heard of those.
No, neither have I. So look, Robert Pattinson is saying he's not going to get in shape. He's kind of doing running and everything, and people thought he was going for a more trim body, like a Dick Grayson, as you pointed out, which, you know what, that's athletic and kind of gymnastic and everything, so I can get on top of that, especially as a Dick Grayson fan.
And I know that he doesn't really have that sort of body type.
Yeah, I want to read exactly what he wrote here, just so we don't misquote him, don't get him wrong.
Yeah.
I think if you're working out all the time, you're part of the problem, he told GQ. You set a precedent. No one was doing this in the 1970s. Even James Dean, he wasn't exactly ripped. That was his whole thing. That's his whole argument, basically.
It's weird. I don't remember James Dean playing Batman.
Neither do I. I don't remember James Dean.
I have to look into that.
He was in 2 movies, Rebel Without a Cause and...
Batman.
No.
It must be Batman.
It must be Batman.
It has to be Batman.
Well, why would you compare yourself
to James Dean in the 70s?
If he'd said potentially Michael Keaton, it might have been a valid comparison.
Yes.
May have been valid then, but...
That was also 30 years ago, but yes.
30 years ago, and he had a suit that made him look big, which was the point of the suit. But, whatever. There are modern movie standards, and if you move past the 70s, men are expected to be of a certain level, and so are women. And listen, I'm not going to say they're not harmful, but when it comes to playing superheroes, I kind of understand. Well,
I break down my biggest problem.
Yeah.
We have a Batman that's not taking steroids.
Yeah. Why are you not taking steroids, Batman?
Get on the juice.
Get on the juice, baby. I wanted to be able to have a got juiced episode.
I know.
Where we talk about Robert Pattinson.
Jesus, Robert Pattinson looks like he's got 2 of himself in his body.
Yeah.
What the he's huge.
He looks like he ate every other performance of Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, exactly. I could build a house on his shoulders.
Actually, Google shirtless Robert Pattinson, which we did ages ago, and he looks fucking great.
He does look great. Now he still needs a bit of meat.
He needs a bit of meat in those bones.
Well, and I mean chiseled muscle when I say meat, by the way.
Chiseled muscle, yeah. Not just flab or meaty goodness. We're talking about muscle here.
I just put in Rupert.
Hey, Robert. Are we part of the problem, do you think, or are we justifiably angry about this?
I think we are completely correct, and we've nothing to worry about, because I want him to take steroids and I want him to risk his boner. That's what I want. That's what I want.
Put his balls at risk.
I want that testosterone to be draining from his body.
Listen, I wouldn't be holding him.
That's the picture, isn't it? That's the good one.
Like, that's a Batman. You're getting to a Batman physique there.
Batman. That's a young Batman.
Yeah, right there. Like, and I get it if he was saying he doesn't want to get too good a shape because Batman's just starting out or whatever, as opposed to, I don't want to set harmful precedents or whatever. Precedents. Presidents. Yeah. He's not a president of anything.
Is he not?
But, like, it just baffles me, because I would never put this expectation on someone else if I wouldn't hold myself to the same standards, where if I got in a situation fucking in some parallel Rick and Morty universe where I got to play a superhero, it doesn't even have to be a big superhero.
Yeah, do you want to do the podcast? No, I'm playing Batman.
I'm playing Batman. Yeah, I'm busy. I'm working out for Batman.
He doesn't hang out with me anymore because he's playing Batman. All he does is do steroids and cry over his flaccid penis.
I know, I don't cry over that. I just work out harder.
Protein tears.
Listen, it'd all be worth it. It would all be worth it if I got to play Batman. But, like,
you cry steaks, pieces of steak,
drip, and then I eat them. Eat them again. But, like, you're playing Batman.
You're playing Batman, and do you know, I don't need him to be this hulking. I don't want to see him. I don't need him to be Abomination in The Incredible Hulk. I don't need him to be that.
I don't need it to be a Henry Cavill who has to be 100 pounds heavier than every other man on the planet.
We were saying, who's going to play Superman in this universe then? Michael Cera?
Yeah, just to be in some way opposed.
What the fuck?
Oh,
Two-Face could be like Christopher Mintz-Plasse or something like that.
I'd actually like to see that.
He'd make a good Riddler.
He would.
He'd maybe a bit too goofy, but maybe he could rein it in.
Oh yeah, Dane.
Don't talk to Tom Hardy.
Who's playing the Riddler in this?
Paul
Dano.
You're gonna say Dane DeHaan?
Yeah, I was. So wouldn't
be bad, actually.
No, Robert Pattinson and Paul Dano are gonna have the same body type in this movie.
Yeah, exactly. Except Paul Dano's getting fucking ripped for this.
Because he has to wear the Riddler leotard and everything.
Oh, so he's dumbbells, hammer curls.
Colin Farrell as the Penguin should not be the most ripped person on this set.
Yeah,
okay?
Exactly.
Like,
and as I said, I don't need him to fully relinquish his boner. No. You know, I just want him to be a little bit juiced. You know?
I want to see him and go, wow, there's Batman. I don't want to see him and go, wow, that's attainable.
Exactly. That's what we were saying. So you're what, 6'1", 6'2"?
6'1". If I say 6'2", people will call me out and I'm not. I'm 6'1".
You're Batman height.
I'm Batman height.
I think you could get in better shape than Robert Pattinson.
I think I could do it. I'm on the way there. I'm not eating
At one point in my life, I was in really good shape.
I've seen the photo.
It was actually last year, and I won't put that photo up.
Put it up.
No,
show the photo.
That's too much.
You wouldn't bleep Madonna's pussy. You're putting up this photo, okay?
Okay. Oh, that's too much. That's like wanking all over myself. Wanking to it.
Oh, backed you into a corner now. Yeah.
But anyway, that was a shed and working out four times a week.
Not even a proper meal plan?
No, not at all. Just been like, hey, I'll try to eat vegetables. If I'm eating dinner, it's going to be fish and vegetables.
Yeah.
I don't want to be anywhere near what my Batman will look like. It shouldn't be attainable. Yeah. It shouldn't be attainable unless I'm rich and it's my job to look that good.
Exactly.
And I'm full of fucking juice, man.
The studio needs to step in and just be like, listen, I understand where you're coming from, okay? But it's your job. You need to look a certain way to play Batman.
Also, he's letting me down so much because I fought in his corner from the start. I convinced you.
You convinced me.
You were like, Robert Pattinson, what the fuck? And I was like, what was the movie? It was Good Time.
Good Time.
I was like, just watch Good Time.
Yeah.
You'll love him in Good Time. That's what changed my mind. Watch him in Good Time. And then he fucking shits it all over me.
He shit the bed. He's done a Capone.
Oh my God, he's done a Capone.
And
we need to put that shit back in him because we need to pack him full of juice.
I get it, okay? You know, you don't want to set these standards that are impossible, that give people body image issues or whatever. I understand that. But I think everyone has enough wherewithal to know if you're playing a superhero, you are in good shape. If you are playing a superhero whose thing is they are incredibly intelligent and a physical force.
With no powers.
No
superpowers.
They have nothing else going for them except their incredible intelligence, their training, and their physicality and what they bring to the role. You have to be in shape.
Also, okay, so he's saying body shaming and all like that. He doesn't want to give people a complex.
No.
I'm telling you, there's fucking huge fat nerds right now going, what the fuck?
Yeah. Me.
Yeah.
Me.
I tell you though, there's these guys and they're fucking pimples everywhere and all they eat is Doritos and Mountain Dew and they're like, well, I want my Batman fucking huge. You know, there is those guys. I know any fucking actually no, I don't know a guy like that, but anybody like that.
Thank you, Robert Pattinson. I feel good about myself.
There's no way. They would be the people. They'd be the worst.
They're the most vocal.
And guys, they have sensitive hearts. You're gonna give them a heart attack.
Yeah, you've killed more people by this release than without it.
Exactly.
Look, I understand the argument.
Or they're like just shoveling another eclair going, I could be Batman.
That's me. That is me. I stare in the mirror sometimes at my moves in my belly and I go, I could be Batman.
Put it this way, okay, I'm 5'5".
Yeah.
If they had Kevin Hart as Batman, I'd be like, fuck you guys, I want a tall Batman.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
I wouldn't be like, hey, ladies are going to look at me different now. They're going to look at me and go, he could be Batman. No, I don't want that. It wouldn't happen anyway, but I mean, like, I don't want that.
I've told you, Ian, you could be Wolverine. You have to be happy with that.
I'm still an inch off. I need to get those Tony Stark shoes.
Yeah, get those platform lifts, baby.
Exactly. But, like, you know, I don't want that. I don't want my Batman to be closer to my height. I want him to have that physicality. I want him to be 6'1", 6'2".
And look,
just saying, like, I mean, that's the only thing I can kind of.
The suit is going to obviously do something for him. You know, it always does.
Neil's doing a lot of fucking work.
But I don't know. I just have expectations for Batman. You know what I mean? Yeah. Superman, even like, he doesn't have to be Superman. He doesn't have to be like that. Henry Cavill wants to look like that, which is great, but like Superman, just give him a barrel. Even Superman in the comics, when he's in the cloth, he's got a barrel chest and just kind of a straight belly and big arms. That's it. Okay, he looks like a classic strongman. Okay. Wonder Woman, I understand you have to be a certain physical shape and everything like this. Batman,
and they actually changed it as well.
Yeah,
like Gal Gadot doesn't have double D breasts. She doesn't, and like honestly, you look at any comic book.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's just because
that's where I look first.
Comic books drawn by men, so they're just like.
I know, but I mean, like they could have got someone who was super busty.
Yeah, just for the sake of it.
Yeah.
Whereas Gal Gadot is the perfect Wonder Woman.
Absolute goddess, great actress, looks amazing.
She's perfect. But
she's perfect. She really is.
And I don't know. For him, he's leading the movie. He is the lead in this movie. And for Zoe Kravitz to be saying to him, "Oh man, I'm working out 5 days a week," and he's like, "So I run, I run. You know, I do my thing.
Yeah, I run to the taco fucking restaurant.
Are you fasting at least? Nah, I just run.
Nah.
I just run and I stick to the meal plan.
And I watch Game of Thrones season 8 over and over because now I'm just getting angry. I'm just getting angry. That's the thing. I'm getting angry with him.
Even Ruby Rose is so fed up with this that she's left Batwoman because of it.
Nice segue, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, Ruby Rose is off Batwoman now because the scheduling was too hard.
Oh, fuck's sake. Yeah. Sign on to a TV show and they're like, what? I'm making a TV show?
Sign up to a CW TV show where you know you're going to have a tough schedule.
Also, I was thinking, wasn't it supposed to have around 20 something episodes, and I think they only had to do 19. I don't think they could finish it. So she's done less episodes than everyone else has in her first season, and she's like, it's too much, guys.
Too much, guys. Can't do it. Yeah, nearly broke my back.
Like, I would understand if the role was offered to her, and she goes, here, you show me this schedule, because I'm sure they showed her everything, and she was like, that's just a bit much for me. It's not going to work for me. I'm like, oh, sure.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay,
Loads of people that doesn't work for.
Hey, that's disappointing, but hey, we'll find someone else.
Also, you got a successful movie career, so just stick to that then. But to go, okay, I'll sign on to that, and then halfway, she does almost a full season,
and then be like, yeah, I'm done.
It's too much.
Yeah, too much. Not doing it anymore. It's like, come on, Ruby Rose, you knew what you were signing up for. Also, like, it's a superhero franchise. You know, it's going to be intense. You have to expect it's a
CW show.
It's a CW show.
All the podcasts, all they talk about, all the actors talk about, and I've listened to now a Grant Gustin episode on the podcast.
Michael Rosenbaum's podcast. We should shout it out.
My favorite Lex Luthor. I don't care what people say.
Yeah. But I never watched it, but I agree.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But Grant Gustin and Stephen Amell, who plays Green Arrow, they were both on it, and they're like, the scheduling is so tough. Yeah. Guess what? Stephen Amell's hated this for a long time. He did 8 years of it.
Yeah, he just did it. So, look, Ruby Rose, you should
get your shit together.
Get your shit together, you know? And like,
someone please get Robert Pattinson a dumbbell.
Someone please. He has, what does he have? What's the thing called? It's like bars, but it's on a movable.
I don't know what it's called.
It's like half a yoga ball and half like bars and everything. I want one of them, actually.
I want to make an offensive joke.
They're pretty. They look like they're Did it do something for you?
No, definitely they would. But man, I don't want Zoe Kravitz to be hulking out of this Catwoman outfit, and he's just like, "Hey man, well, you know."
Yeah. Well, when she said
hey,
that,
Two-Face, you stop.
when she said that, I was like, can't wait to see Catwoman.
I know.
Such a dog. I
Come on.
Yeah, I know, but it's like, oh man, can't wait to see that.
A dog that would definitely chase that cat.
Yeah. Hey, nice. It's like when you see Alicia Vikander as Lara Croft, you're like, oh my god, that woman's in good shape.
Oh my god, her abs. I didn't know I was into abs. Now I'm into abs.
Maybe it's just abs on her. But yeah, Robert Pattinson, you've let me down.
Get your meals in order and get your goddamn workout routine in order.
And you haven't just let me down, you've let yourself down.
And to finish off, New Mutants.
New Mutants. Release date.
It's got a 5th release date.
Hey-oh, is it going to come out this time?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Just put it on Disney Plus.
Put it on Disney Plus. Just release it quietly on Disney Plus. Don't give it any fanfare. Don't do anything. That is the way this movie will succeed the most. If people are like, hey, New Mutants is on Disney Plus. That's insane.
Hey, guess what? It sucks. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Moving right along.
Like, Disney want this movie buried, but they also like money. So they're like, we'll put it out.
Which makes no sense to me, because I'm like, you like money.
Yeah.
Don't put it out.
Don't put it out then.
Don't put it out. You're going to lose money.
You've already lost money. Almost assuredly.
So August 28th, 2020 is the new release date. Hey, guess what? It's probably not going to come out.
Probably not going to come out, no. But if it does, we will be there day one in cinemas to laugh.
It's been coming out for so long, I feel like I've watched it and got over it.
By the way, Mr. Sinister is 100% in this movie, guarantee you. Played by Antonio Banderas, potentially. So that's my prediction. And that's the only thing I care about. I'm going to watch the end credits.
How does it have the running time, by the way?
94 minutes, I don't even know. That's how long it takes to run away from the movie after you see it. Look, I am telling you this, that
Robert Pattinson needs to bulk
Robert
up.
Pattinson needs to needs to bulk up, number one. And number two, I'm going to watch the end of credits scene on my phone of someone who was filming it in the theaters before I go see this movie.
Really?
That is 100% what's going to happen. Yeah.
Wow, that's bad.
Yeah, that is bad. And I apologize.
If it's not on Disney Plus, I don't think I'm going to see it for a while at least.
Yeah, I'm going to wait for it to come out potentially.
Yeah.
Or will we go see it in theaters? I don't know.
We'll see. Imagine it was great.
I find that very hard to believe.
If this is great, then I'm like, Snyder Cut's going to be amazing.
That's true. It's the year of impossibilities, I suppose.
Will we do our hunk and skunk?
Yes, let's.
And let's finish up.
So Hunk goes to...
Can't pronounce his name.
Randeep Hooda in Extraction.
Indian Chris Hemsworth. He is awesome.
He is awesome, and he pops. Almost. Chris Hemsworth is good, but I knew he was good. Exactly. This guy, never seen before, pops completely off screen.
Got an education. Like, who the fuck is this guy?
I'm going to keep my eye out for him. I hope he shows up in other stuff because he is just that good, and I really enjoyed him.
I hope he shows up in the MCU now with the Russo brothers connection.
Me too.
That would be so good.
I'd have to think of a few. I don't want to throw out roles because if I get the race wrong, I'm going to appear racist or whatever.
Yeah, so I get you.
I'll see if I can.
Always talking about diversifying their cast and all like that. So get him in there.
He's a great choice.
Badass.
Give him a character who's physical as well. Yes. Give him something to do.
Yeah. Because he doesn't even need a power. I just want to see him fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? It's got to be something. Winter Soldier style. Hell yeah. Him against Winter Soldier.
Oh.
Him as a bad guy in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier season 2. Hello.
Apparently, that's going to link in heavily to mutants. By the way, there's behind the scenes.
I'll bite.
There's some set photos that hint at a mutant island. That's very important to the X-Men comics. So look,
and then that'll connect to New Mutants, right?
No,
not
definitely not. And then Skunk, we're going to give to Tom Hardy for Capone.
It hurts. But it's so deserved.
That's my skunk. That's my skunk award.
And on that note...
Was it worth it? That's what I asked Tom Hardy. Was it worth it?
Was it worth it?
Was it worth it?
I can't do the voice.
At the end of the movie, he just grunts. So I could definitely have just done the dubbing for him the entire time.
Was it worth it? That's the only... good impression
Ian does a great Stephen Hawking, and now I've told him he's got to sneak it in here more because it's very good, and I can't do it.
On that note, thank you for listening to Straight to Series. Goodbye.
Was it worth it?